Hi guys, Mike back again with the final build update of building the Forge World Proteus Land Raider. It's all done. Spent a couple of enjoyable evenings just kind of building it slowly, building at my own pace. So that was really nice, and it's all done and ready for paint. So we shall have a look. I have kept a few pieces off, so we'll just start with those. So I've kept the front scoop off, front ram off, that's fine, ready for primer and paint, so we'll just paint that separately. Then we've got the heavy bolters, which are pin tool kind of hole mounted, sorry, so they will just get painted up separately too, just for ease. And the two las cannons, again, just straightened out now and going to be painted separately, so that's cool. And last but not least, the last separate part, I'm just going to do this top hatch. I've glued the hatch on, so that's all done, and reshape the front and just make sure it fits nicely. But I will actually glue that in place, and this holds the hull-mounted heavy bolters in place when it's glued on. So that's that. So the main event, as it were, it's the Proteus. Overall, happy with it, happy with the finish, happy with the model itself. It's a brick, it's a proper brick of resin, which I really like. It's properly chunky, it's real got some heft to it, and it's really wide. Look how wide it is with those sponson sections, but really happy with it. So last you saw, I glued the hull in. I'd done some minor gap filling with the epoxy that I was using as my glue. Then basically everything else I just stuck on with super glue, and all the other bits, the bits that I've just shown you on corks and the top hatch, will get stuck on with super glue too when I've painted it. So just keeping this off for ease of painting, just so I can, you know, get all the chipping effects done and dusted. So we've got that. So I've put the road wheel housings on, put the torsion bars on. They just glue on, surface mounted. And then we've got the sides. We've got the sponson bits. So these move. They don't move. They do move. See, as you can see, they move. So I'm going to paint them in one orientation, prime them up in one orientation, and then move them and then paint them round so they will swivel. So got the door glued on, got the whole sponson mount glued on. The fit's really nice, as you can see. Just needed a bit of reshaping on this one, just so it's sat flush. But other than that, very happy. Again, all super glue, and it's absolutely solid. We're looking at the rear. Glued our exhaust on and our exhaust pipes, and they all fit very nicely too. And then I suppose the biggest issue, or potential issue, is the tracks, which we know and love. The tracks come in, how many sections? A, B, C, D, E, F, 6 sections of tracks they come in. So what I did, on dry fit, they fit reasonably well, but that was dry fit, and it's hard to hold 6 sections of tracks, you know. So on first glance, it looked okay, it looked reasonable, and it looked like it was going to fit pretty well. So what I did, just in case it didn't, I had a minor expectation that it wasn't going to. Started with the top tracks, so I had nice fitting where you're going to see it. So where have we got? So this is a track section. So we've got this bit, this little tiny bit here, a bit that goes down here, and then this bit and this bit. So the tracks fit well. I mean, they needed some slight bending, so they fit nicely round. You can see they follow the wheels very nicely. So if we're looking at the top and down the front and around and around, and the rear here and around. So very happy with the fit. And again, round here and up here. So I shall point out where we have got some issues. Underneath, right, underneath, this is where the join is, as you can see. Basically, the tracks don't fit. So yes, that's the summary of the kit. The tracks don't fit, and whether you could take a little bit off each track to make sure that they fit, so you didn't have as much of a obvious join here. But I'm figuring that I mean, it's on the underside. It's going to be it's going to be like that for its whole life. From the side, it looks reasonable. And certainly once it's painted, it's going to look absolutely fine. It's going to be sitting on its tracks forever. And you're not going to see it. So, but I mean, I'm a little bit irked because I do like my models to be nice, and out of sight isn't necessarily out of mind for me. But you know, it is what it is. So I've had to cut. There's a joining bit here, so the tracks join here, and then they slope down, and then there's a flat that kind of is supposed to join up against these runners, and it doesn't. They don't work. I mean, there's a huge discrepancy, and they overlap terribly, and you need to basically cut them right down. And like I said, I think in a previous video, cut basically a whole track out to be able to make them fit. So we've got our wheel runners nicely spaced, but underneath we've got these wheel runners that are really close together. But if you took the whole thing out and took the whole wheel runner out, you'd have a gap in the track. So yeah, the tracks don't fit effectively, and I had exactly the same issue on my Spartan. But if you're mindful of it, you can model that so it's underneath the tank, and you don't see it. So again, you know, I mean, the track should fit, to be fair, and I think because they've gone down the route with the Spartan chassis and the Sicaran chassis of having the tracks included into the track section, there's whether they do that for this style of Land Raider, whether they're going to include the tracks as part of the track section, that would be pretty cool. But you know, it is what it is. So that's my experience of it. Well, it's all glued up now anyway, so there's no change in it. So it's ready for paint now. So we'll see what it looks like when it's been painted, and I might show you what it looks like after it's been primed, and if not, I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. And so hopefully you have enjoyed this little build log, and I haven't sort of actively shown you how to build it, but just a few sort of queries, questions, pitfalls and wonderings along the way. And that's it for this one. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.